How much of your life have you spent trying to be accepted, trying to be good enough for someone else? The truth is, the people whose approval you're chasing are often trapped in their own fears, their own doubts. They can't even see their own worth clearly, so how could they possibly define yours? The Buddha once said, "No one saves us but ourselves. No one can, and no one may." Your life is not meant to be an endless performance. You are not here to convince anyone of your value. You are here to walk your path. And the moment you stop begging for applause is the moment you finally hear the sound of your own footsteps, the sound of freedom. 1. Approval is a trap. Approval feels sweet, but it comes with invisible chains. When you live for praise, you are owned by those who give it, and when they withhold it, your confidence collapses. The Buddha taught that praise and blame are two sides of the same coin. They are both impermanent, both empty. When you let them define you, you become like a leaf in the wind, tossed around by every opinion, every judgment. Instead, ask yourself, what does my heart want? What feels true? When you walk in alignment with your values, you'll find a quiet strength that doesn't need validation. 2. Your path is yours alone. Your path was never meant to be walked by anyone else. Not your parents, not your friends, not even your closest companions. Even the Buddha himself was doubted, criticized, and misunderstood. But he didn't stop. He walked with clarity, because he knew that truth doesn't need approval. It only needs to be lived. When you stop asking, "Will they like this? Will they approve?" you discover something incredible. You are enough as you are. Not because someone else says so, but because your life is already complete. 3. The freedom of self-approval. The deepest freedom comes when you no longer seek to be liked, but instead seek to live in alignment with your truth. When you act from compassion, when your choices come from wisdom rather than fear, you'll find that approval, or disapproval, doesn't touch you anymore. You don't need the applause of the world. You only need the silence of your own heart, knowing that you are living with integrity. 4. The courage to disappoint others. One of the hardest truths you'll face is this: you cannot live a meaningful life and please everyone. If you want to follow your path, if you want to live in alignment with your heart, you will disappoint some people. And that's not failure, that's freedom. The Buddha himself walked away from a life of comfort, from family and expectations, to sit under a tree and search for truth. Many didn't understand him, some thought he was foolish, but he walked anyway. You don't need to be harsh, you don't need to argue, you simply need the courage to say, "This is my path, and I will walk it." Each time you choose your truth over their approval, you plant the seeds of freedom. And from those seeds, peace begins to grow. Stop asking for permission to live your life. Every time you wait for someone's approval, you give away your freedom, your fire, your very soul. The Buddha didn't seek praise when he left the palace to find the truth. He simply walked, one step at a time, not for recognition, but for liberation. And you can do the same. The opinions of others are like clouds passing across the sky. They come, they go. But the sky, your true self, remains clear, vast, unshaken. When you release the need to be liked, you discover that what you were chasing all along was not their approval, but your own. Stand in your truth, even if no one claps, even if no one understands, because the moment you walk your own path with courage, you don't just gain freedom, you become the example. The quiet proof that happiness isn't found in pleasing others, but in living as you are meant to live. So take the step, not for them, not for applause, but because your life is too sacred to live as someone else's reflection. Walk your path. You are already enough. Subscribe to Buddhist Wisdom for more timeless teachings.